Hello, folks. I'm back again. This is part two of this series now because this pretty much where I left off was pretty much talking about the 9/11 story. Well, now we're pretty much this end over here of of the story, which was talking. I think I was talking about, if I remember right, was oh yeah, how beautiful today was comparing because if you're watching this later on, pretty much the year is, of course, 9/11/2012. If you watch in 2013, 14, 20, 2020, I, I'm just doing this for posterity, so people at least know that we're probably maybe one or two, maybe even just born, so they can get a little bit more of a lesson on what happened on that day. And now this part is how could we have prevented this incident of happening in the first place? Pretty much, we could have stopped this during Clinton's administration because there was the rumors of Osama bin Laden planning an attack. So Clinton could have stopped it, but didn't. I don't know for what reasons. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not going to get into that situation. But also, to finish up the timeline to now, 11 years later, well, about almost a year later, we had U.S. troops in Iraq looking, and this was I think was Operation Iraqi Freedom, I think, or Enduring Freedom, one of the two. I forget which one started first, but it Bush President Bush was pretty much trying his best to stop terrorism around the world because this pretty much the insurgents, the Taliban, all everything they call well is a big problem still to this day. Not as strong now in 2012 as it was, heck, even maybe even 6, 7 years ago. But here's the simple facts about it of the time, up to this day. Sorry, pretty much Saddam Hussein, who was a dictator back in the 90s that we were trying to push out, pretty much he went into hiding. About almost around, let's see, we got in almost within the beginning of 2000, let's see, 2002. 2 years later, that would have been 2004. We got Saddam Hussein. Yeah, Saddam Hussein, not Sama. Sorry, but we finally got him. We already had a little bit of a government going for Iraq at the time. So Iraq pretty much decided to try him. Well, it might be a little gruesome, but I'm going to tell you, he was tried. He was found guilty of all the crimes that they put against him. That because I'm not really good with Arabic. I understand some of the words. What if they tell me something, I can maybe understand. I know what they're saying, but when I see the writing, I can't understand it. But the way they said he was found guilty, this is from interpreters, and he's sentenced to death, which in their country was by hanging. So he was hung within 2 years. They shaved him when they found him. If you want to look at a video of Saddam Hussein. Put in Saddam Hussein when he got in 2000, in 2000, I think 2004 would have been, I think, about 2003, 2004. You'll see how fuzzy he looks. He looks almost like a mouse, an old mouse. But in a man, what would it be, an old mouse with a man? But that was how he looked when he was captured. He was long-haired, full beard. When when they tried him, he's still hairy, but when they executed him, they shaved the beard, kept the mustache that he was known for, and cut his hair to the regular length he had when he was dictator, because they wanted to see him as this former powerful man going down. That was how it was. Well, now we get to Osama bin Laden, which was a longer look line, because we were hearing rumors that he was hidden caves, hidden here, there, and everywhere. Heck, we had even jokes about it. Heck, here's the best joke of them all. Well, I bet you we could find Osama bin Laden as a New York taxi driver. The odds of that is he's probably a New York taxi driver. That's what they mostly would say. Oh, I bet you he's a New York cabbie somewhere in New York, for the odds of him, because of what he did. And it's like even the old joke, what's Osama bin Laden's favorite football team? New York Jets. Things like that. But about, I think, a year ago, 2011 or I think it was 2010 or 2011, we found Osama bin Laden. We found information, which was not a pleasant way of getting the information, but Democrats at the time really wanted, they were pressing Bush to stop this, the methods, because our interrogation methods were brutal. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with being a little bit brutal, but when you need to get information like this, where Osama bin Laden is, you have no choice. You have to do it. That's a dirty thing about war. You might end up having to be brutal and brutally interrogating people, which, when they got into power, instead of doing what Bush was planning to do, was capture them, President Obama instead didn't even, pretty much, here's the honest truth that's been revealed by some news sources, and actually from actual people who were in the building. This is after about 1 or 2 years. Yeah, it was the 10th anniversary. It was, so it was last year. Last year, they pretty much in April. That I remember. It was in April of 2010, 2011. I mean, yeah. But they said pretty much late night, around 10 o'clock, President Obama came out and said, "We got Osama bin Laden. He was shot. He was killed." He said only by one or two shots. Well, now, since it's been almost over a year, we have people that were willing to come forward that were part of that SEAL team, which he mentioned, SEAL Team 6. Well, that member told him, actually, he didn't tell us nothing. We didn't get a relay from him to kill bin Laden. We actually did this out of just fight or flight. We just automatically, they shot his, I think it was his son, if I remember right, the guy said, which this was a couple days ago, they mentioned, just showed it. So, and then second person was Osama bin Laden. He said there his name, and he pops out, and pretty much they said he was pretty much had 2 shots in his head on the side, not in the face, and a bunch in his body, because he wouldn't stop moving. They thought he was still alive. So in war, you can confuse a dead body that's just twitching because of death for being still alive. So it's not like a big deal, but it's quite common for people to think of dead bodies really still alive, but it's just the muscle, because of nerves. It still move. If you ever seen someone, or even seen video of a chicken with its head chopped off, or even a snake. Here's an even better one: a snake. If you would cut a snake, still that other limb will still keep moving. It'll keep moving around. It's because it still has functions going on. It still has that electrical impulses keeping it going. That's the reason why. And the only dumb thing is, President Obama did the wrong thing to do. Was take credit, because former presidents who were not in office that didn't get they did get credit for what they did, but President Obama didn't do no credit to a person who actually did the job. That was SEAL Team 6, who should have got the credit, not the president himself. It was more credit to them because they are the people who done it. They were the one that on the ground doing it. You didn't see the president with a gun in his hand shooting Bin Laden. I mean, President Obama was not shooting Bin Laden. He was not the one pulling that trigger to finish him off. But same with Arlaki, same thing, which was a couple months, I think it was after or before, I don't remember, but he called for a missile strike on him, a missile drone strike, which is pretty much a remote-controlled plane dropping a bomb on you. Very simple. The only difference is unmanned. It's remote-controlled, and everybody knows about remote controls. So, but pretty much it was not. He didn't give any to the person before him. This is the problem with this person alone, our president right now. I don't know if he's going to be president in the future after this year. I don't know. Who knows? But if he isn't, then he's pretty much proves that he was terrible. He wouldn't give credit to the past. Actually, give thanks to what came before him. But if he gets reelected, I'm not going to say nothing bad about it. I wish he learns from his lessons. But thank you very much. If you like my shit like this, go up to the like or subscribe. Even subscribe. If you have any comments for just simple anything, pretty much, just go down there to the comments and just put a comment, because it could pretty much might end up being on, and you never know what you get from me. I might come up with something creative way of thinking it, even if it's something creative. That it doesn't matter. Thank you very much. Sayonara.